Well, welcome to the family here. We are all storage nerds. That's the name of my coaching program. If you want to learn how to invest in self-storage and you join Storage Nerds, Storage Nerds is my coaching program and my love. And I've been teaching people how to invest in real estate for almost 10 years now. I've been investing in real estate for even longer than that. I started out wholesaling and rehabbing. If anybody knows what wholesaling and rehabbing is, just say yes. And I know I've done wholesaling or rehabbing. We are going to talk today about the 6 different ways that you can invest in self-storage. All right. The 6 different ways that you can invest in self-storage. And I did wholesaling and rehabbing. And then what happened is I got pregnant. In 2015, I got pregnant. And at that time we were doing 15 rehabs, and I was one of those crazy people that did like a lot of rehabs. And I just started like freaking out because I was like pregnant and I was about to have this baby. And when you rehab, if anybody's done a rehab before, you know that you have no idea when you're going to make your money. You could say, oh yeah, I'm going to rehab that thing and be done in 3 months or 6 months or a year. And the truth of the matter is that it never ever sells when you think it's going to sell. And after doing like 100 of those, we had to put together, we're in the process of launching our first fund. And we had to put together a list of all of the properties that we've ever owned and worked on. And I came up with like 100 rehabs. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I didn't know I did 100 rehabs. But anyways, if you know anything about rehabbing, it just ain't fun. You're running around like a crazy person. And me as a mom to be, we had not focused on passive income at all. So all of a sudden I was just like, that's it. Like, I'm going to finish these rehabs and we're going to only focus on passive income, because the truth of the matter is all I want to do is just spend time with this baby. That's it. That's all I want to do. And my husband was the same exact way. And so we decided to just focus solely on passive income. And my husband had a home inspection company at that time. And that's how I got into the business, because my husband was in the home inspection world. And he was just like, Stacey, I'm seeing all these like rehabs that we could do, these houses that need work. Like, why don't we get in there and like do some rehabs? And I was like, okay, we'll check it out. We'll start doing it, and that's how we got into the business. But once I got pregnant, I just told him I can't do it. I can't run around like a crazy person with this like baby. So it took us a while to finish all these rehabs, because we had 15 rehabs we were working on and 15 rehabs in the pipeline. Can you imagine? So it took us a long time to finish all that up. And once we finished it up, that's it. Like we stopped buying properties right around that time and started looking. So what happened is we started looking for ways that we could invest our money. And I just said, I only want to do passive income. And I want it to be truly passive income. I want to be hands off. And so what happened is that we started looking at all kinds of things. And I don't know if you remember this, Laura, but back in like 2015, we were looking at multifamily, and this is back when multifamily, like nobody wanted to get in the multifamily. And, it's just like, now, of course, everybody wants in the multifamily, right? But back in 2015, people just were like, it was just starting to become popular. Like, oh, I need to start looking at multifamily and start investing in multifamily. So I started looking at all these like apartment buildings, but they all needed rehabs. They all needed work. They need to be upgraded. Anyway, so I got pregnant. We stopped doing our rehabs and we started focusing on passive income. We looked at multifamily. I just didn't want to do the rehabs. We looked at buying portfolios of houses. And honestly, the truth is, I was just so sick of houses. I couldn't even do houses anymore. And then then we decided not to do houses. And then my realtor found a storage facility that was only like 15 minutes from my house. And he was like, would you be interested in storage? And I was like, yeah, possibly. I could go take a look at it. And so I drove up to this storage facility, and I'm going to tell you, it was perfect. And actually, it's the one that you see in the background and here in this picture. Okay, that is the storage facility. It's in Fayetteville, Georgia. It's a little suburb south of Atlanta. And so I drove up to this facility and I just fell in love with it. And the reason why is because it was super dumpy. It was the dumpiest storage facility. And I love dumpy storage facilities. Why? Because I'm a rehabber at heart. All right. So I've rehabbed 100 homes, so I just like dumpy facilities, right? I just like dumpy stuff, and my husband is also kind of the same way too, because before he got into the home inspection business, he told me he wanted to be a junkyard owner. That's what he said. I was like, you could be anything you want. What do you want to do? You could do anything. He's like, I want to start a junkyard business. And I was like, are you serious? A junkyard business? No, you're not going to do a junkyard business. So, and I said, figure something else out, because I'm not going to be living. I'm like very OCD. Like I have to have things like in their place. I was like, I can't be living around junk the whole time, dear. We'll have a horrible marriage. Anyway, so he decided to start a home inspection business and said, whew, all right, so much better. But anyway, so we bought this facility behind us. Okay. It was 64 units. It was on 3-acre lot, 64 units. You can see behind us. It's a very long, skinny, like just long, skinny facility. And it's got 64 10 by 10 units on it. Okay. And it's in an industrial area, because you know how you have these like industrial zones, right? And so like it was like this kind of like where trucks are always going through, and there's like a lot of like businesses, like commercial businesses is what it is. Okay. And there was tires everywhere. And the one thing that I loved about this property is that there was parking. So all around this entire facility that you see behind us is parking. And the parking there is big rigs, dump trucks, tow trucks, and like box trucks, something like this. Okay. And it's just like the owner, when he had this facility, he basically was like, oh, just go find a spot. Like he didn't even care where you parked. And it was just like utter chaos. And I could tell just by driving up to the gate, because it's all completely gated in and stuff. I mean, it's not a bad facility. It's just that the owners didn't take care of it. The owner didn't take care of it. And I loved that there was parking, because that's extra revenue, right? Not including the units. And little did I know that I'd become a big rig parker, right? So now we park big rigs is what we do. We park dump trucks, and I just love that, right? I love it so much. So, and actually we're looking at doing even more parking. We're looking at doing even more parking. You want to know, you want to make some money in self-storage, look into parking. Buy a piece of land and then fence it in and park your boats and RVs, right? And we've been driving around and looking for areas that we can do this in. And we're looking for boat and RV parking near lakes. We've been in Texas looking, we've been in Florida looking, we're in Georgia looking. And we're going to end up buying some land and then just either clearing it, if it's not already cleared, then clear it, fence it in, and park boats and RVs. And I can show you an example of something like that too, because I just love this thing. I mean, but I just love the extra revenue. And I love that you don't have to put a building up in order to make that revenue. Essentially, all you do is just park and that's it, right? You just park cars and that's it.